That's what you get for loving me. That's what you get for loving me.
And I think about the way First Nations people treated this country for the 60-odd thousand years before we came here, and the damage we've done in just 230 years. And we have a lot to learn from First Nations people about being respectful to land and being respectful to each other. So I start with that acknowledgement. But I also start with the acknowledgement that you've been betrayed. You've been betrayed by your state government, you've been betrayed by your local MPs, and you've been betrayed by a majority on your council. And I think it was just almost 3 years ago now that you were betrayed in a meeting that happened just over there, which you weren't given proper notice of, where at the very final minute, the mayor on your previous council ratted on you and killed off the legal action that would have saved your council. You were betrayed. And you were not just betrayed then, you had been betrayed for years before that by your local member who said one thing to you privately, another thing in cabinet, and then voted to see your local council destroyed. I don't know about you, but I believe politics should be grounded in truth and honesty and frankness. And you've had none of that. And you are right to be angry about it. You are right to be angry about it. And can I say what really inspires me in politics isn't a great speech by a politician. It's not a shining moment in Parliament. What inspires me in politics is when I go around to communities and see the power and the passion and the capacity in communities to take control of their own destiny. And in this particular campaign, what I have been particularly inspired with, and like Peter and the rest of us around here, travelled all around the state, and particularly in that build-up to when it was clear that the state government wasn't going to listen to people. Didn't care what you thought, didn't care what people in Tumbarumba thought, didn't care what people in Gundagai thought, didn't care what people in Leichhardt thought, didn't care what people anywhere around the state thought. They were on a mission to smash local government. And they wanted to smash local government because they saw local government as being too close to the people and too often against the overdevelopment and against the corporate interest that the state government just wants to smash through on. They didn't like this idea that there was a separate locus of power in New South Wales. And their idea was to smash local government, break its connection with communities, make them great, big, amorphous, bland things that have no connection with their local residents. You know, with 2,000-page business papers that no councillor can read or understand. Corporatise local government, if you like. Smash its connection with the people. That's what they wanted to do. But as I travelled around the state, I saw communities who were wise to this. They knew it wasn't about making things more efficient. They knew it wasn't about having a rates cut so your bin delivery is cheaper. They knew it wasn't about making a more intelligent local government that was going to stand up for you. Everybody knew what it was about. It was about making local government more like a corporation, breaking its connection with local residents, probably be more expensive, like all these privatisation and upsizes of government is, and probably dilute your voice to an extent you become even more irrelevant as a citizen in New South Wales. That's what it was always about, and local residents got it. They got it because they're sick and tired of being lied by governments by governments because they've seen the same pitch time after time. You know, we'll privatise the Commonwealth Bank and you'll all be better off because it'll be a better service. We'll privatise Qantas and everyone will be happier and shinier. You know, we'll privatise the Land Titles Office because somehow that's going to make everybody happier and better off. We know that these pitches from a sort of corporatist approach aren't true. Somebody is benefiting. Somebody well connected to government is benefiting. And it's not us. It's not ordinary residents. And everyone got that. So as I travelled around the state, it was pretty clear that those communities who had a local council and local MPs who were actually listening to them and responding to them, and not always local MPs, sometimes a local MP was betraying the local council, but local councils that were listening and engaged and on the ground and cared. I went around and said to each of those councils, the government's going to do a job on you. If you don't stand up and stand up with your residents and take these buggers to court, you are going to get squashed. You've got one chance here. And as soon as they announce a proclamation against you, you're probably gone. So act now. Act now. And every council that listened to that advice Every single one of them is still an independent council today. Every single one of them. They listen to their residents, they listen to sensible political advice, and they saved every one of their councils. And that, for me, is what's inspiring about these kind of campaigns. Active communities, active councils, and that's what makes me so angry about what happened in Pittwater. Because you were this close. You were that close, and then you were betrayed. And don't forget who did it, and don't forget what political party they came from, because they'll do it again in the future. Because that's the style of politics they have. Can I tell you there's another inspiring bit of citizen activism that I'm enjoying at the moment? And again, I'm going to put my hand up and say I was involved in getting it going, which is the challenge by Local Democracy Matters over in representing residents from Randwick, Waverley and Wallara councils in the Land and Environment Court now to stop the stupid demolition of the stadium. Again, I met with local residents. Many of their local councils, 2 out of the 3 local councils weren't supporting them, but the local residents wanted to do something. They couldn't believe a state government would spend $750 million of their collective wealth to knock over the current football stadium and rebuild another one exactly the same bloody size, only with more corporate boxes. They could not believe it. And when their local councils weren't acting, when their state government had betrayed them, we got together, the local group made a decision, we gave some strategic advice, we got some great lawyers. They're in court now, they've got an injunction on the demolition, they've had their case, and hopefully between now and the 8th of March, that whole thing will be knocked on its head by court action. That's active citizens taking control of their destiny and challenging a wasteful government. We need more of that, a lot more of that, not just in court but out on the streets. So, what has been happening here? Well, I was just actually with Miranda and a bunch of other local residents up at the Northern Beaches Hospital. Up at the Northern Beaches Hospital with one young woman whose dad needed certain cancer treatment, and they couldn't grant it at the Northern Beaches Hospital because they didn't have a haematologist as an expert. And this big, shiny new hospital, they had to drive past it to go and get the treatment at Royal North Shore Hospital. At a stressful, distressing moment, when you want your hospital to be there at a local place to provide local needs, that privatised hospital basket case wouldn't provide the essential service. And get this, and I'm sure many of you are aware of it, the corporation that currently has it, HealthScope, has now been taken over by a multinational who's got its tax basis and its tax operations in the Caribbean in a tax haven. And they want to not only take the money from us as taxpayers, but then they want to have the profits offshore and not pay $1 of tax on it. You can only get this from governments that are sitting in the pocket of corporations and don't care about what you're doing. So can I tell you about the council amalgamations? We know it was a cooked up political job on you all. Of course it was. But it is going to take a political response. It's going to take a majority in the New South Wales Parliament to reverse these laws. And there's 2 ways the Greens will support this and guarantee legislation to support this. Hopefully, with the support of Labor and the other political parties. The first is the legislation we've already supported, which got through the upper house but didn't get through the lower house, because I think Gabrielle Upton put everyone to sleep from memory with like an 8-hour speech opposing it. The first is this. We guarantee that each of the constituent parts of any of these amalgamated councils, now that's Pittwater or Leichhardt or whatever, each constituent part gets a say in a binding referendum. If a majority of residents in Pittwater want Pittwater back, you get it. No questions asked, no ministerial discretion. Of course that's what the law should provide. And there's 2 ways of triggering that. One is, if you get 10% of local residents in Pittwater sign a petition, that can happen at any time. But the other mechanism that the Greens are putting on the table, and I hope you take seriously, is there will already be a local government election in September 2020. And that's 18 months away. And the cost of having an election and going to the polls will already be incurred on September 2020. And at a minute additional cost, we can put on every single ballot paper, in every single amalgamated question, a very simple question. Do you want your council back, yes or no? And if a majority of residents at September 2020 say they want their council back, bang, happens automatically. And the cost of that will not be met by you. The cost of that will need to be met by the state government who created this mess in the first place. But to do that, we need to throw the current government out. We need to throw them out because they can't be trusted and they've betrayed you in the past. It's as simple as that. And I know that many of you will go and talk to your neighbours and your locals and they'll say, oh, but we always vote Liberal. Well, if you always vote Liberal, you're always going to get dudded on these things. And unless you shake things up and do something different this time, the Liberal members who have betrayed you in the past will laugh at you, will take you for granted, will tell you anything and don't care about being pointed out as being two-faced, dissembling representatives. They will laugh at you because there is one clear definition of foolishness, and that is continuing to repeat the mistakes of the past. If you keep doing the same thing and keep getting the same dud result, you can't blame anyone but yourself after that. So I'm glad we're all here, very happy to take questions. Because it's not just local government that's at stake at the moment. I think it's the very idea of a government that's here for the residents as opposed to the big corporate and developer interests. And I'll finish on this. All of the planning decisions that have been made since this amalgamated council, I think, should be up for question. And it's not just here, it's around this city. This city has been run not for local residents, and the developers have taken charge. And I could give you another 45-minute expose about what's wrong with planning. But we need to uncover some of this mess in the next parliament. And that's why, in addition to getting our local councils back, we need to commit to a Royal Commission on Planning. So we can have a Royal Commissioner look at the unholy mess that has been Sydney planning over the last 8 years.